Have you ever taken your shiny new graphics card home only to be disappointed at how you can't turn the settings up as far as you want in some hyped up AAA game? It turns out that in many cases, this isn't because the GPU is underpowered. Instead, you might not have enough video memory, or the amount you do have might just be too slow. But the next generation of VRAM, GDDR7, promises to help alleviate some of these issues with never before seen bandwidth. This is a big deal because of the rapidly increasing demands being put on gaming PCs, where the high-resolution textures and complex visual effects of big-name titles can overload all but the highest-end hardware, meaning you need enough high-speed VRAM to hold all that data that the GPU is being asked to process. In fact, one of the more common gripes from folks who bought the RTX 3070, an upper-tier GPU, was that it only came with 8 GB of VRAM, resulting in performance issues and graphical glitches in games that the GPU itself could probably have handled. Enter GDDR7, which is expected to bring us a huge bump in memory bandwidth without sucking down more power, which is great news for those who just want to turn up the settings but are already fighting the rising power draws of newer gen graphics cards. We're talking 36 gigabits per second per pin. Once you translate this into a card with a 256-bit wide memory bus, that is a full 1.15 terabytes per second of throughput. To put that into perspective, the RTX 4080 only has around 700 gigabytes per second of memory bandwidth, so all that extra space in the pipe could help demanding titles even without adding more actual VRAM. But what exactly is the secret sauce that allows GDDR7 to reach these new heights? We'll tell you right after we thank Videocom. Struggling to make your presentations engaging? Videocom can help with that. With a bunch of features to spruce up your project, such as per-slide webcam embedding, automatic cloud saving, and team collaboration tools, making a presentation has never been more easy and intuitive. Turn that drab PowerPoint presentation into an experience that will be sure to leave an impression with your audience. Check out Videocom at the link below for free and use code Linus for 50% off any paid subscription. GDDR7 uses a little trick called PAM3, and that's not the stuff you spray on your pans so the tater tots don't stick. It's pulse amplitude modulation. In PAM3, each clock cycle can have 3 voltage states, +1, -1, or 0. Each sequence of 2 cycles encodes 3 bits of data. For example, a -1 followed by a +1 corresponds to the bits 0, 1, 0. In this way, each clock cycle encodes 1.5 bits of data instead of just a single bit. But you're a savvy viewer, and maybe you already know that the current top-end video memory, GDDR6X, actually supports PAM4. I mean, isn't that better? 4 is a bigger number than 3, I think. Maybe. Well, it's only better to a point. PAM4's encoding scheme actually delivers 2 bits per cycle, making it faster than PAM3 on paper, but there are some drawbacks. 4 possible states per cycle means that there's a greater chance for errors in data transmission, and to compensate for this, you need more error correction functionality as well as a new physical design and different memory controllers. All of these things increase both the cost and the power consumption, not to mention that GDDR6X can only operate in PAM4 mode when data is being sent in 8-byte bursts, instead of the more standard 16 bytes, meaning GDDR6X can actually have less bandwidth overall in real-world scenarios. Put all this together, and GDDR7 is supposed to give us more bandwidth while being more energy efficient than GDDR6X. Not to mention it can switch off PAM3 when it's not needed, and instead use the 1 bit per cycle NRZ scheme. But when are we actually going to see it in our graphics cards? The answer is probably late 2024, as that's when we're due for another major GPU refresh from both AMD and Nvidia. And reports are already out that Nvidia may be planning to use GDDR7 for its upcoming RTX 5000 GPU series, which I will definitely be buying as long as I can sell a couple of my organs first. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, dislike, check out some of our other videos, and comment with video suggestions down below, and don't forget to subscribe and follow.